Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I'm very glad to have Lee Kaplan on the program. He's a regular contributor on The Price of Business. Does a great job bringing in news and perspective of what's happening, and stories not only about Houston but around the country, particularly as it looks at that tension between business and the law. His law firm, Spicer, Kaplan, and Veselka, skv.com, are very much leaders in the field of business law and in litigation, and delighted as always to have you on the program. Welcome.
Good morning.
Real quickly, I love your summary of what SKV is all about. Why don't you give us that, and then tell us what topic you have for us. You always bring a good topic as well.
Well, we're a trial firm. We do trials and arbitrations and appeals, but it's just commercial litigation and occasionally internal investigations. But it ranges from contract disputes to fraud cases to trade secret or theft or patent infringement, just all the kinds of problems that businesses have. We have a law firm, soon to be 14 lawyers. Virtually all our lawyers have worked for federal judges, and we're fairly well versed in the litigation process. And we're in the courthouse as often as we can be, whether for hearings or trials or appeals. And we've now been here 19 and a half years, and we've got a bunch of lawyers of different ages and levels of experience with a lot of brains and a lot of moxie.
Gotta love that moxie. What do you got for us as far as the topic today, sir?
Well, I'll tell you, since we're in Houston, a lot of people have probably been shaking their heads over the doctor poisoning trial.
Oh, yeah.
And as more facts come up, there's sort of a larger lesson here, which is nowadays nothing is secret. And the sad thing about this is that everybody involved in this, if you want to call it love triangle, has had various things about their personality and their history exposed that's quite embarrassing. What's the latest is the longtime live-in girlfriend, Ms. Tony, who most people have seen as the wronged woman in this triangle. Turns out she worked for GlaxoSmithKline, a company which sells drugs, and this doctor who was poisoned, her longtime live-in boyfriend, was running trials which included that drug, which is a clear conflict of interest for both of them. And apparently neither of them reported it. In addition, she apparently had lied or concealed the fact that the reason she had some accident in a company car. And so all of these things have impacted everybody's lives. We've got the woman who's on trial for trying to poison him. We've got the doctor himself who is thoroughly discredited as a complete cad and charlatan, but also somebody who was engaged in a clear conflict of interest, which he should have reported to MD Anderson. And I would say that will certainly affect his employability in the future.
Wow.
And then we've got his longtime girlfriend who had the same kinds of problems. So the real message is, when you're in litigation, be prepared to have your background thoroughly searched. You're going to be under the microscope. And these are the kinds of things that should make people wary of running to the courthouse. Now, this is a criminal case, of course, but these are things that could have come out in lots of different civil cases.
Yeah.
And that the message there is, when you're on the stand, nothing is secret. Nothing is sacred and nothing is secret. So if you have litigation which you need to be involved in, you certainly need to tell your lawyer all these kinds of things. People often think some aspect of your background is completely irrelevant, and it's embarrassing. Your lawyer needs to know, because some of this stuff may have come out for the first time on the stand when the adversary, say in this case the defense lawyers who are asking Ms. Tony, the live-in girlfriend, all these questions, that may have come out and the prosecution may have learned about it fairly late. Don't know that, but that can happen in a civil case, and there's nothing worse than sitting at the table hearing your client or your major witness impeached with various activities that are not strictly relevant to the case but highly embarrassing to them, which affects their credibility in front of the judge and the jury.
Let me ask you, how long does this trial expect to go on?
I don't know. I'm guessing because right now the prosecution is still putting on the case. I don't know if, who's going to testify. I have to think it's going to last at least another week. And who knows what the jury's going to do with all this stuff. This has been a lot of fodder for the papers and the media, and most of us just say, thank God my life is a lot more boring than this.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. Have you been watching as far as, how the testimony is going? Who does it look like is favoring, or is it way just too early to say?
Well, all these facts are highly embarrassing and may go towards mitigating the jury's view about just how evil this person is. But they're trying to create reasonable doubt as to who poisoned him. Now, I, of course, haven't been in the courtroom. All I know is what I read and see and hear in the media. If I were to guess, I would guess that she'll be convicted. I think her sentence will be a lot lighter than people might expect because I don't think, as there used to be the old adage, the SOB deserved killing. I think this doctor who has been portrayed as a victim is coming across as such a unsavory character that the jury's view of the defendant may be that maybe the doctor deserves some of this treatment, or they can understand how the defendant was driven to this point by this guy who's a cad.
Yeah,
he's not a good guy.
He's not, by any measure of the word, a sympathetic character.
No.
Not at all. Well, that's interesting. It'll be interesting to see it. It is a morality tale, isn't it?
Right. But as I say, the lesson the rest of us can take from this is understand when you go on the witness stand that lots of things may come out, and therefore you need to tell your lawyer in advance all kinds of things that otherwise you would find highly embarrassing and you wouldn't want to share with people.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you spending time with us and sharing your insight on what's going out there. I love what Lee brings. Lee brings a lot of insight, a lot of wisdom, and a lot of understanding. You're not one of these guys who merely look at the law as vocation, but you've got a genuine intellectual interest in the law, and we can tell that every time you're on the program.
Well, theoretically, litigation should be the last resort. Now, lots of people resort to it earlier in the process than others. And of course that contributes to my livelihood, but I don't know that that's a good thing. Societies with less litigation are probably better off.
They are probably better off, but at the same time, in the same vein, it's good. I tell you right now, if I need an attorney, I want one in my corner who is passionate about what he does. And there's the information you bring is always so valuable. I appreciate it.
If you have one more minute, I want to make a plea to people.
Sure, go right ahead.
And that is, pay attention to the results of the Houston Bar Association judicial poll when you vote in November. It will be fairly widely circulated, and you can go online to the Houston Bar Association. People face these long ballots here in Houston, and there are many judges. Some people just pull the lever for Democrat or Republican, although I personally am what I would say a moderate Democrat. There are Republican judges, incumbents, who are wonderful judges, and the lawyers who appear in these courts know more about that. So pay close attention to the results of the Houston Bar Association poll. You can get that at the HBA website. Just go online, search for it, and you can get those results. And I strongly recommend that if people are going to vote in the down-ballot races, they take a look at that, because the lawyers have a good sense of what judges are fair.
Yep. Thank you so much, Lee Kaplan. Make sure that's good advice. And learn more about Lee over at skv.com. That's Smyser, Kaplan, and Veselka. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
You bet. When we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com, and you're listening to The Price of Business.